So good morning, my YouTubers and everyone in the world. Today is September the 5th. The time is now 8:38 a.m. Guys, it's going to be a beautiful Thursday all day. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so you can see more of me. And I wanted to say today is the first day of school. So to all the kids out there that start in school, I hope you guys have a beautiful, productive, the best school year possible. But moving forward, today's topic is going to be 5 easy tips to know that you are ready to become a first-time parent. And yes, there are different signs to let you know if this is what you're truly ready for. So let's get into this video right now. So the first sign to know that you are ready for your first child is, of course, if you have a high patience level. I feel like it's very, very, very important for you to have a high patience level, man. I mean, when you're dealing with kids, you're going to come across so many different types of situations. It's not always all about how cute they are and how they dress and all this and all that. It's a lot more that comes with parenting. So you have to have a very high patience level because you are going to experience different things. So if you have a lot of patience, then yes, that is a sign to me that you are ready to become a first-time parent. Now, the second sign to know that you are ready to become a first-time parent is if you feel yourself getting jealous or envious when you see other parents in the street and they're pushing strollers or they're having interactions with their children, and you feel like, dang, I feel like I can do that. Yeah, it looks like I can manage this now. If you have those type of feelings every time you see, parents with their children, then that to me is a sign that you just may be ready to have your first child. I mean, because honestly speaking, that's going to be you one day when you're pushing your stroller and you're interacting with your child and, being the parent that you're supposed to be. So if you see parents out there pushing strollers and just interacting with their children and you get that warm feeling inside that this is something that you know for sure that you can do, then that is a sign that you just may be ready for your first child. Now, the third sign to know that you may be ready for your first child is, of course, and this is obvious, if you love kids. You gotta love kids before you have kids. I mean, come on. Because at the end of the day, you gotta understand something. This is not one of those type of situations where, okay, the child is gonna be here with me for one day and then they go back home, or they with me for the weekend and then they go back home. This child is gonna be with you permanently. Because remember, this child came from you. So if you love kids and you don't mind working with them, you don't mind, interacting with them, you just love kids. Every time you see them, you hug them, you kiss them, it's all love, then you know for sure that you are ready to have your first child. Now, the fourth sign to know that you may be ready to have your first child, guys, is you stand sideways in the mirror and you're looking at yourself as if you were pregnant. So it's like, okay, that's like taking a balloon and putting it under your shirt and saying, okay, so this is what it would look like if I was pregnant. I think those are, that's like a real sign. Just imagine how it would be for you to have children. Like, I think that's important. Well, it's not necessarily important, but it's just, I think it's a part of that. I want to have a child, so this is what I would look like if I was pregnant type of situation. And believe it or not, that is quite normal because I think a lot of women seem to do that. Whether they admit it or not, they do that. So for me, I feel like it is very, 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 it's cute. It's just a part of that whole I want to be pregnant, and it's just a part of all of that. But the fifth sign to know that you may be ready to have a child, and I feel like this one is like golden. I feel like your life definitely has to be situated. And when I say situated, I mean situated in a point where, to the point where financially you're stable. This lighting is horrible, but anyways, financially you're stable, situated to the point in your life where you have your own apartment, you have your own car, because these are things that you're definitely going to need in the process of being a first-time parent. Like, I mean, you don't want to have to get on a bus or the train and, take the stroller, pick it up the stairs and take it back down the stairs. That is a lot of work. So I feel like you have to be financially, and this is the most important of all the 5 signs to know that you are ready to be a first-time parent. You have to be financially stable. Like, I'm not saying you have to be, but if you don't want to struggle, if you don't want to, worry about where your next dollar is coming from, if you don't want to ask for handouts in times of need, then it's very important that you start saving. If you know that you want to have a child and this is something that you absolutely serious about, and you're like, okay, I'm almost ready, it's time for you to start saving. You want to have at least a couple years of money saved up before you even decide to have a child, because you don't know what situations might take place. And like I said before, it's not just based off of taking my child shopping. Your child is going to need so many diapers, milk, just a lot of different things, pacifiers, bottles, and Pampers that's the most. I mean, come on. We don't know how many Pampers we're going to go through in the first couple months of the child being born. So, I mean, I think it's better to be prepared than to not be prepared. But I think it's important for you to also be stable as far as having your own apartment, having some type of business career going on where you know for sure that, okay, this is something I'm going to be doing for a while, and I know I'm going to be making money from it. So this is how, my family and I will survive, for the first couple years of the child's life. Like, you need to have a plan. Have a plan of how you're going to make this work. That's important. And I mean, I felt like I needed to shoot this video for first time parents. If you guys can relate to the things that we talked about today, definitely give this a huge thumbs up. And like I always say, being a first time mom or being a first time dad is not easy. You can never be really prepared, but these are the ways to know that, okay, if you can relate to at least 3 or 4 of what we talked about, then that tells me that you are ready, and everything else would just have to come along the way. But you definitely have to have a plan. I feel like that's very important when it comes to being a first time parent. And if you reading books about being a parent, if you going to workshops, if you asking people who are already parents questions about how is it to be a parent and what's the ups and downs, then that is a sign that you may be ready to be a first time mom or dad. And yeah, so like I always say, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And of course, visit my website at shoploveronline.com. Until next time, guys, peace.